honored, so blessed to be here. What better way to start 2023?
Welcome to NACON 2023. Let's go!
This is my first event.
This is my second big event.
And I wish that you could feel the energy in this room.
You need this opportunity.
I believe you can do it.
Why not you? Why not now?
Don't miss another one. Get to the next big event.
You should be here.
You have a chance to make it big.
Your sentences become your sentences.
It's like going to a Broadway show, like multiple Broadway shows in one weekend.
It doesn't get better than A View from the Edge with Marcusetta.
It's funny, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna pee your pants, you're gonna make new decisions coming out of there.
Absolutely gonna love it, your team is gonna love it. This event is one that you cannot miss. Get your ticket, we'll see y'all there.
What's holding you back? What is your problem? What's stopping you from living the life God intended you to live? You need to step up right now. This isn't just a seminar. This is your life.
Hello, Alliance family. I have great news to share with you. The question is, where are we going in 2023? Your hint is I'm doubling down that this is going to be the best Alliance trip ever. Get it? We're going to Dublin, Ireland. Then we're going to Killarney, Ireland. Oh, a dream come true. All it is 235,000 credits, and you get 10 days. Let me tell you something. You get to the airport and we got you, baby. Luggage, airline, snacks, transportation, hotel, food, entertainment. It's gonna be on, baby, in Ireland for the Alliance, baby. Have you ever heard somebody say, I'm so happy, I'm gonna do the Irish jig. We're gonna get to do the Irish jig in Ireland, baby.
Welcome to the Activity Call Live. Now let's hear for our special guest host, Adam Katz.
Woo! Hello, Alliance Nation. I am fired up to be talking to you. I am in Newark, New Jersey right now, getting ready to fly out this afternoon. taking new territories. That's what we do here at the Alliance. We take new territories, we make things happen, and we keep growing and growing and growing and growing. So I'm excited to be talking to you. Honored to be hosting this call. Thank you, Andy and Jane Albright, for the opportunity to talk to the whole organization this morning. That is something we do not take lightly, and we got some great guests this morning for you guys, and we're excited to be able to come to you and talk to you about this. So what we're talking about today is this. We're talking about how to get people some quick income, quick commission, so that they can then reinvest their money back into their business. Specifically, what's the most important thing that Andy Albright always teaches us is getting people to the main events. So specifically, how we can help them make that quick commission, get that paycheck, turn it around, buy their ticket for a view from the edge in Denver. We have this book that we use as our guide. It's called The 8 Steps to Success. Andy Albright, our president and CEO, wrote this book, and it's so simple, the concepts in it. It's 8 basic things that if you can master, you can make a 6-figure income. It's guaranteed 6-figure income. We don't have anybody who is doing all 8 of these steps at a regular, consistent, excellent level that doesn't make 6 figures plus. And a lot of them make multiple 6-figure income by following these steps. I wanted to focus on just one of them, though. Step number 5 talks about attend all meetings and the importance of attending the meetings. Okay, so why is it so important? Well, here's what it is. People make big decisions in big groups. Okay, so you guys, most people are sitting at home, or you're in your car, or you're in your office, or you're in your second bedroom. When Beth and I started our business, I had a desk in the bedroom. First, because the second bedroom was a nursery, because we had Sarah at that point. And so I didn't have a building. I didn't have some place to go. I was working from home, just like most of you guys are. And we were just grinding, trying to figure out a way, hoping that this thing worked. Okay. Did we believe it would work? Yes, 100% we believed it would work. Did we know without a doubt that it would work? I don't know anything without a doubt. I'm not that guy that is that confident about everything. But I was hoping, here's what I did know. I knew this without a doubt. Andy Albright had my back, and he was going someplace. That's what I knew. That's what I could hitch my wagon to. And we made that decision that we were going to follow Andy. And Andy said, here's the things you need to do to be successful. And he laid it out. And at the time we didn't have the book, but since then he's laid it out in a book. And understand, simple doesn't mean easy. Simple means it's not complicated what is necessary to be done. Easy means that it doesn't take any effort to do that. And so this is not easy to do because whatever, all of the 8 steps are, like making phone calls. It's not hard to make phone calls. There's nothing physical about making phone calls, about dialing the phone. You have a keypad where you can make outgoing calls. A lot of people didn't know that this existed on their phone. Andy has shown me. And so there's nothing about making phone calls that's hard. But what's even easier than making phone calls is not making phone calls. Okay? And when you're sitting there in your office or your bedroom or wherever you are by yourself, getting your mind right to go to work, it's hard to make that big commitment for you and your family. All you're trying to do at that point is just take the next step. That makes sense? But if you're going to make that massive decision that this is what I'm committing to, this is how I'm going to change the rest of my life, and that I can bring a team of people with us, that we can live life together, we can do life together, and we can do it on our terms, where we can live the way we want to live, where we can have the dreams the way we want to have the dreams. And people aren't making that decision typically by themselves at their desk in their car. They're just making the decision to make one more phone call, do one more door knock, meet one more person, make one more recruiting call. That's what we typically decide by ourselves in our office and at our desk and in our cars. But the magic happens. And the magic happens when we make that quality decision. John Maxwell said this, decision making is overrated. Decision management is underrated. When I make that quality decision, not a quantity decision. I've made the decision multiple times. I've had to make quantity decisions a lot. I'm going to do this thing. This time I'm serious. This time I don't have, we've all done that. When we make that quality decision, we don't have to make the decision again. And what I have seen through 20 years of doing this with Andy Albright, and really 31 years of doing life with Andy Albright and doing business with Andy Albright, 20 at the Alliance, 20 in insurance. What I have noticed is this: people make those quality decisions at the big events. Okay, so we just came off National Convention. Was it just last week? 2 weeks ago. I think we're now 2 weeks out from National Convention. Seems like it was a year ago. So much going on. But 2 weeks ago we came off that, and there were people who made a quality decision to change their life, and they have come back on fire. And they're doing the do. They're putting the work in. They're putting in the massive activity. They're doing everything they're supposed to do and they can do to change their business and change their life. So we're just coming off that, and we saw people making that quality decision. Our next chance to do that is going to be in Denver, Colorado, April 21st through the 23rd at the event called A View from the Edge. And those of you who logged in early, you saw the promo. By the way, these calls, yes, it starts at 10 a.m. If the best, am I still with you guys? Okay, cool. If the best, so Andy's always taught me this, the best indicator of your business is people, how many people do you bring on your team to the next big event? And the goal is to always bring more to the next big event than what you brought to the last event. So if you came to Dallas by yourself, or you just signed up with the Alliance and you didn't even know about Dallas because you just signed up today or this week. If you came to Dallas by yourself, then the goal is bring somebody with you to Denver. Now, the real goal should be bring 10 people with you to Denver, but you want to at least bring some. You don't want to go back to the next event by yourself. And if you already have a team, if you're somebody like Mike and Noel Leventovich, who has a huge organization all across the country, and Andy Riddle at Stephen Davies with huge organizations across the country, then your goal is to come to grow the numbers you had from one event to the next. That is the best indicator of your business. Now, what happens is this: we fall in love with volume, okay? And I understand we get paid on volume, and I love volume too. I like the big annuities. I like the big IULs. I like big apps, and I cannot lie. Okay. Yes, I just did that on a national call. Thank you very much. We know that we get paid on the volume, but the volume sometimes can be a head fake. Sometimes you write a big application and you get a nice commission, but the person's not necessarily doing the do, not necessarily getting the consistency yet. And so it's a head fake because it's kind of a one-off. They show up big, and then the next month they don't. And you're looking for consistency. So the best indicator of the strength of your business, the best indicator of the growth of your business is people coming to Denver. So Andy dedicated a whole chapter to attend all events, attend all meetings. And it's funny how the word all is so confusing to so many people. It's only a 3-letter word. It's not even a 4-letter word. It's a 3-letter word. It's a simple word. And all means, here's what all doesn't mean. All doesn't mean attend the meetings that you feel like going to. All doesn't mean attend the meetings that are convenient to get to. All means all. That's what it means. And so knowing we have 3 months to prep for Denver should eliminate excuses for every single person on this call to get to Denver. And the first step to getting somebody to that meeting is get them a convention ticket in their hand. They are much more likely to attend the next big event if they actually have purchased a ticket. Okay. So tickets are $399. They are on sale right now for $399. The price is going up to $599. Mark Aceta does this for other organizations and around the world, and he charges upwards of $2,000 for a ticket to an event like this. He's cutting us a deal at $399. Okay, so you can lock in for your ticket, and by the way, it will sell out. This event is at a theater. This is going to be multiple Broadway plays. Go back and watch the promo for A View from the Edge. And a lot of the guys that are part of our company now, the Mike Guerras, the Nick Grecos, the Rachel Bethunes, the Terry Edwards, have done prior business with Mark Aceta through other organizations. And so they know firsthand what the power of this meeting is, and they're on the promo talking about it. So it's like a series of Broadway shows that we're going to see through the weekend. And the beauty of it is it's professional sets, professional costuming, all kinds of crazy good stuff. And it has to be in a theater because that's the way it's set up. Well, here's the thing with a theater. Once a theater is sold out, it's sold out. It's not like a convention center where we can bring in 100 more chairs. It's not like in a hotel ballroom where you can open up one more door, one more wall, close, and you can add another 300 chairs. The theater has a finite limit on how many seats it has. And when it's sold out, it's sold out. And this theater in Denver has 1,500 seats. And I know we are getting real close to 1,500 tickets sold. I would encourage you to have some urgency, especially as you bring on new people, especially if you have people that you're bringing on your team that you really think have a real shot. Hopefully everybody you hire, you believe has a real shot. I get into every business relationship with the person we bring on our team, Beth and I bring on our team, with the idea that we're going to be doing this together 20 years from now. That's kind of my philosophy on it. But if it's somebody like Mark Aceta talks about, you got an ace, you want to make sure you get your ace a ticket quick. Okay. Beth, if you would, just take a couple minutes and talk about what our philosophy has been about attending these big conferences. We started with Andy and Jane going to conferences. Heck, we were 22 years old, first year teaching, first year of marriage, and we got into business with them, and they told us these were non-negotiables, and so we made them non-negotiable. So talk about the way we kind of made things happen there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are always excited for the next opportunity to get around the team. And I think Adam and I know that what has kept us in, what has sustained us through the ups and downs of the journey has been these big events, the chance to get around the team, and our commitment to Andy and Jane not to let them down. We know a measurement of the business is how many people are you bringing to a convention. And so Andy and Jane could always count that Adam and Beth were going to get our tickets immediately. That wasn't something we delayed on, even when we delayed on bills and other things that we were going to make that investment because it was that important. We know that church groups, they take youth groups out on retreats because it's in these moments when you are removed from your normal environment that you make big decisions. And Adam and I have always gone to these events together. And here's why. You never know which event is going to be your event, which one's going to take you to that next level decision. And I can go back to a major event. Adam and I were sitting there. We were actually at the night out after the whole day session, and Andy said something in a group, kind of speaking over Adam's shoulder, not looking at Adam eye to eye, but he said something in that context, and it just landed right on Adam and changed his heart. It changed his vision. It changed his decision making, and it changed his eyes. Like there was a visible shift in his face And had I not been there and seen that happen, if he was coming home and telling me about it, I wouldn't have understood the impact. And I wouldn't have understood why he was making different decisions on Monday than he had made on Saturday. And so the whole idea of being there together allows both of you to be in that moment. And one event might be your event and one event might be his event. It doesn't matter, but if you all are in there together, it's going to propel you forward. I was reading real quickly, and personality isn't permanent. And he talks about that your ability to get to where you want to be 5 years from now is in part based on your confidence. And confidence comes from little steps forward, little steps forward, little steps forward. So like if you make one dial and then you make a haystack, it's a step forward in your confidence. You make one sale, then you make 5 sales, you've made a step forward. But you can also jumpstart that through peak experiences. And a view from the edge will be a peak experience. It'll be one of those moments when you can take a massive step towards who you want to be. And the lines from the move says, a power move by going to the conference, by being there, by making the right decisions, the massive decisions, that power move is an aggressive action towards your future self. So we definitely believe that being at a view from the edge is the place that you need to be because your dreams are worth the fight.
Awesome. Yeah, we decided to go as a couple. We were in business as a family. We were building a family business, and we didn't necessarily run our day-to-day business as Beth involved in everything we were doing, but mentally and emotionally and from a business perspective, we were doing everything as a family, which brings me to our first guest, also someone from the family, Emily Katz. She has qualified for Ireland. This is her second trip with the Alliance. 21 years old, made right at 6 figures. Last year, her first full year in the Alliance business. She worked part-time previously while in college and all of that. But Emily, talk about, first of all, the importance of association for you, in terms of starting to come to conventions with us. Now, we didn't charge you back then. We do make her buy her own tickets now. But the importance of these events to you personally and how you're helping your brand new agent, because she's building a big team across the country, how you're helping your brand new agent take the money excuse out of the equation and helping them get find the money to be able to get that convention ticket for themselves.
Yeah, so thanks for having me on the call. And I think the importance of events, it truly has shaped who I am. And I have been lucky enough to get to grow up in this business. And so from the age of 9, I've been going to events and I haven't missed one since I was 9 years old. And so it's shaped my view of money, my goals, my dreams, everything that I do on a day-to-day basis has been shaped by that. And I just think about the way that my friends and peers think about money and what their goals are and as they're coming out of college and everything. And I've just from a very young age been like, there's so much more. There's so much more that I can accomplish. There's so much more that's to be done. And there's nothing that is impossible as long as I'm willing to work for it. And so I just think that's come from the events 100%. I don't think I know. And getting around people who have bigger visions than me and who think about things different. Over the past couple of days, I've gotten the opportunity to fly with Andy and we've done a couple cities and just seeing new things open up. And the idea that you can have a private jet, just seeing how he manages his time, everything. It's incredible what these events have done. And the opportunities it's gotten me to associate with these leaders across the country. But in terms of helping new agents get started, I think that goes back to Andy. Watching him over the past couple of days, we don't have an excuse. We have an incredible leader with Andy Albright who constantly goes out and travels and sees people and helps them get started. So there's no excuse to not do it. But he's taught me, and you've taught me just from watching you travel and help agents, that going out to see them is what builds the relationship. First of all, it's not going to be built over Zoom or over phone calls. It comes from breaking bread with each other and having time together. And that's where their belief grows and they understand how to do the business and they start working harder because they have a relationship, and that teamwork creates a drive for them to do it. So I went out to San Antonio, helped a new agent get started out there. And so just went out there, did a day of dialing. I just ran my schedule, but dialed and then did a day of appointments and then half a day of appointments and flew back later that night. So it was 3 days and just got hours in the car with her to really help solidify that relationship, help train her, get her going, and then show her how to write applications, how to dial, how to do everything. We have an incredible university, but there's nothing like getting around somebody else who's doing it, and seeing that we get hung up on too. We get no-showed, we get all of those things. And it's just part of the business. And so that really helped. And then we did about $8,000 of business over those 2 days. And then the next week, she went out and wrote $2,000 on her first day. And it's fast because she sees it's possible. And now she's got money to go to the events. She's got money to travel and to reinvest in the business. So I think being an example for our team is just huge.
So I love that, Emily, making that example, being that example. I think the other thing it does is, with the opportunity of putting money in an agent's hand that quickly, it takes the pressure off from the family perspective. In terms of, in the case of the agent Melanie that we're talking about, puts money in the bank account quickly. So now the husband is more all in with partnership as well, and gives you an opportunity to meet everybody as well. So I know you did the same thing with Courtney here in Wilmington as well. So just talk about some of the conversations, how you're able to leverage, and not that we leverage people, don't misunderstand what I'm saying, guys, when I talk about leveraging, but leveraging the relationship being built to be able to then turn around and be like, hey, you don't say it out loud, but it's implied that I've spent my time, my energy, my emotion, my money. Here's what I need from you. Talk about how that works, please.
Yeah, 100%. You've talked about it all the time. You can't take money out if you haven't put withdrawals in. And it works the same way with people. And so it's emotional deposits that we put in. It's time, getting to know them, caring about them. Some agents that we'll meet across the country, we might be the first people, especially in a business environment, to really invest in them and care about them. Asking questions, how long have you been married? How many kids do you have? What do you do for fun? All of that. That's a foreign concept for a lot of people in the business world. And so it just builds credibility in who we are as a company, who we are as people. And it creates legitimacy to what we're doing and the value of what we're doing. And so I think those conversations, it just builds a relationship. So whenever I ask, hey, I need you to come here, I need you to fly here, I need you to go to this event, we've already put the deposits in. They know who we are. They know they can trust us. They know it's worth their time. And it just, we're respectable at that point. I think that's the big thing, is because us just saying, hey, you need to come here, and all I've done is ever answer a phone call every once in a while. You wouldn't do that for a random friend that you met on the street. You do that for your best friend, though, somebody you have close value with. So I think that's really big, is that just caring enough about somebody else to invest your time, get to know them, because we're building relationships. I love how you talk about that. Whenever we're talking to a new recruit, it's like, hey, I'm looking at being partners 20 years down the line. I'm not worried about right now. But what we do right now matters for 20 years down the line. And the time that we put in and the events that we go to, it's going to affect 20 years from now, because if we don't start now, we're never going to start. So it creates urgency, but it really does create perspective too, of this is somebody that I'm going to get to know, that I'm somebody that's going to be important in my life, and I better spend the time to get around this environment.
So, Emily, what would you say to somebody, because I'm sure there's somebody listening right now on the call that's like, well, that's all well and good, Emily, but I don't have the money to travel to Texas to buy enough leads and to get an airline ticket, to do that, to be able to train my agent at a distance. What would you say to somebody in that situation, or somebody that may be thinking along those lines? How are you able to put yourself in a position to do that?
We have a freaking license to print money. I don't know what else to say. There's too many leads. I mean, call the leads department. There are thousands of leads across the United States that are just sitting there in inventory. People who are going to die if we do not go take care of them, just because we don't have enough agents to help them out. So we need people out there serving families, and just buy some leads, invest in the business. Like Andy says, get a Southwest credit card, put some money on it. You'll be able to pay it off within a month, because once you write 10 grand of business, that initial $1,000 credit is not going to be an issue. And so that's the big thing, is just go out there, print money. Are you scared to work, or are you scared of the money, is what he's been saying a lot lately. There's no excuse in this business.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I just want to give a shout out to one of our newer agents, Natalie, was down in the Wilmington office dialing with the team, and she invested in herself, bought a bunch of the aged vendor leads, on the Alliance site. They're $2. I think Integrity is running a sale right now. Dan was telling me this morning, they're running a sale right now on their aged vendor direct mail leads for like half off. And so they're almost giving them away. But she just sat there in the office, got her teeth kicked in, but kept smiling and dialing. And when she walked out of the office Monday, she had 10 appointments scheduled. And, just kind of following along on her week, she's turned in 4 applications that she's posted on our WhatsApp. And so, I love it, Emily. Just go out, write business yourself, so that you have income, you have cash flow that you can then turn around and do those trips and invest in your new people. So
yeah, and if with that discount, I'll just say, the Integrity ones are $1.50, so half off, that's 75 cents. I don't know the math on it, but you could do that quick. But $50 worth, you can get that from a friend, or $20. That's still a heck of a lot of leads at 75 cents each. So there really is no excuse with the opportunities that we have.
Yeah, ask your mama for it.
Yeah.
My mama won't give it to me. Ooh, I don't know what you did to your mama that she won't give you $50 worth of leads. Anyway, awesome job. Thank you, Emily. I know you've had a blast traveling with Andy this week. Those are always long hours, but you learn so much and you get so much out of it. So awesome job. And Linda Gobel, Kansas City, Lee Summit, Missouri. Linda, what trip number are we going on together? Is this like number 8, number 9?
One of those, yes.
Something like that. So we're excited to travel with you and Keith to the Emerald Isle of Ireland. And Linda has obviously a much different background than Emily in terms of the relationship with the Alliance. Emily kind of grew up in our system. But Linda, one of the things I've always respected so much about you and Keith is your business background and experience. And so from the perspective of a business owner, and I know it's hard to call, buying $50 of 75-cent leads an investment, or $100 of 75-cent leads an investment. It's hard to call a $399 convention ticket an investment in the overall scheme of big business and the kind of money we can make here. But just the thought process that you try and get across to your new agent as a person who's owned big businesses that required massive investments. Talk to us about, first of all, yours and Keith's thought process on investing in your business and making it your business, but also how you then transfer that thought process to your newer agents and get them to buy into our systems and to help get them that first couple sales quickly. What do you do to get them those sales quickly so that the convention ticket isn't a deal breaker?
I love it. Sure. I think I loved how Emily, the last thing she said about just go make the money to go to the conference, go get leads and go sell. In my business world, you couldn't do that. I was So we owned brick and mortar stuff, millions in investments. We owned a coffee shop, a couple restaurants, a third-party logistics company, a warehouse, a distribution. So we had like 5 or 6 things going, but they were all very capital intensive. And so, which just means you had to put a lot of money in up front. Fancy way of saying that. But when she said that, I'm like, I literally wrote down, I couldn't borrow from my mama. I had to borrow from a bank. And when you borrow from a bank, the bank wants it back, and it's not little, and they want interest, and they actually want you to show up every week and tell them how things are going. And in fact, they sometimes just showed up to tell you, to, schmooze us and tell us how things are going. So the freedom in this is amazing and awesome as a business owner, but it's also a little, if you don't see it clearly, you can miss it, because it's as legitimate of a business model as I've ever seen. It's a brilliant business model, but if you don't acknowledge it's a business model, you may miss the opportunity that it is. So if you treat it like it's a job or a hobby or kind of a game, and you don't treat it with the seriousness of a business, you lose out on the opportunity that you could get. And so I love that she said, just go make money and go to the thing. So it's that simple, but in its simplicity, don't miss the legitimateness of it, that it is an investment. $50, I was investing 500,000 at a time. I was getting bank loans. I literally cashed out my 401k to try to save the thing. We took out our 650 some thousand dollars in our 401k and dumped it in and lost it. You don't have to do that here, but that doesn't minimize how big of a return on investment this can be. So don't miss that, please. And I was thinking about how I get new agents to see that investment on the upfront. When I started, I joined in August. At the end of August, I got my license. We had all of our business. We had lost them, folded them, closed them, sold them, whatever. And I was in like, what do I do next? And when I started in August, at the end, I saw it. I saw someone do a meeting. And then the first event was in September in Dallas. And I didn't even have a license. So this is how you start. This is how new people need to think. If this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life, go to the events. Decision made. It's that simple. I thought, I'm never missing anything. If this is what I'm going to do, then I'm not missing anything they do. So first, just make that decision. And Adam has talked to me about decision fatigue, right? All these little decisions, and by the end of it, you wear yourself out, right? So make this decision a non-decision. It's just a fact. If there's an event, I go to it. So do that on the trust for the people that had, like Emily, what she just said. I mean, how about that? Just go to the event so you can become an Emily Katz, for Pete's sakes. She said she grew up at the events, and I'm like, well, there you go. Who doesn't want to end up like that? I mean, she's amazing. Think where she'll be of 10 more years of those events. I mean, I can't imagine. So just make the decision and go. And then and go buy the leads, get the money, just go. If you make the decision to go, then the figuring out the how to do it, that's all comes later. You just decide to go, and you'll figure out how to go because you're going, right? So it'll have to happen. And then the other thing I would say is once you go, so Adam says big decisions are made at events. So your first decision, you're not going to be at an event. So just make the decision to go. Done. From then on, you can make bigger life-changing decisions as you go. But what I would say too is don't forget to come home and work, right? So so getting to the event is not the end-all be-all work that you're doing. You're a life insurance agent, so go sell, get your leads, get your schedule down, get your rhythm down, get your activity up, and just work. And then when you come to the events, I was telling my team, I want to come to the events from now on, like that's my break. Like that's where I get to come take a breath. It's not, I worked so hard to get to the event. I took care of the kids. I got on the plane. And I made it to the event like that. That's not the win. Treat that as oh man, we've been working so hard. We've been jamming. It's been crazy. And now I get 3 days with just being restored and renewed. And then I re-energized to go out and do it again the next 3 months. So
So yes, that's awesome. So Linda, so I got a new agent. I hear you, Linda. Business costs money. It's an investment. I know I need to be there. You just don't understand my situation. There's no way I can get to Denver. I don't have money for gas. I don't have money for a plane ticket. I definitely don't have money for $400 for $399 for buying the event ticket. What are you going to, how can I find the money? I can't ask my mama for it. I burned all my credit. What can I do to get that money so I can attend the event? I want to go. So how are you going to get me? How are you going to help me make money so that I can do that?
I love it.
What's my next steps?
I wish I could quote what Emily just said. What did she just say? Buy some leads. Buy some freaking leads. That was because so then we're going to have to bring our energy and our effort and our activity. We're going to have to grind. And here's the best part about grinding. You're going to grow as a person in the process. So what that means is go buy 100 old leads. Go get $20 to do that. Go get it and then just work, just like you said, just like your agent, just dialed like crazy. Just get it started and then reinvest, right? So when you get old leads and you just decide, you know what, I'm just going to get in front of people. You know what, get in front of your warm market if you're brand new. Get in front of your mom and your sister and help them. That money is that helping them is so important. Sometimes we overlook them. We're like, they're the ones that we care most about if they're not okay when they die. And so care enough to sit down with them, work with your upline to get what's the best setup for them. And then when you get paid, don't go spend it. Don't go pay your electric bill. Go buy your ticket to your future. Go buy your ticket to the business that will pay your electric bill, every bill, and then give you a lifestyle that you aren't living now, right? Go run after it.
Talk a little bit more, if you would, about that thought process of delayed gratification, which is what you just, don't pay your electric bill as delayed gratification. But Linda, you don't understand. The electric bill is due, and it's due next week, or for a lot of folks, it was due last week. How do you talk to an agent? Obviously, it's like we can just tell them don't pay your electric bill. Don't worry about your credit card. They'll let you go. How do you get, what are some things that you're saying to the people to buy into, all right, I'm going to delay that gratification and I'm going to focus more on the work and the activity?
So I think, if you're coming out of a job, and you've not owned a business, the idea of not getting a paycheck is just kind of a foreign concept. The idea of down the road it's going to look better is hard to wrap your head around. And so then when we're telling you that, you're like, do I believe that? When I did my businesses, no one was telling me that. I was learning that. I was just experiencing that. I'm like, oh, I have to put $1 million in and I only get, and then I can't actually pay myself yet. I'm going to, right? So that just happens almost to you. But so let me just give you, right, best teacher is someone else's experience. So let's learn it from us, from Adam and Beth who have walked it, from us who have done other businesses and have walked it. You can't expect next week to be paid and be paid consistent. You can. I mean, you can go work hard enough to do it, to keep a piece of it. But if you don't have enough seed to do the next session, to do the next week, if you don't have enough resources, if you don't have enough of a market to go after next week, then what we do is we just eat up what we earned and we're right back to where we started. So the electric bill is due today. It will also be due again next month. Right? How are we going to manage that? So let's take a minute and instead of having the same cycle, let's break the cycle, right? And breaking that cycle is going to be, you're going to feel it for a minute, but it's once it's broken, you're ahead of it, right? Once you've got more money coming in than the bills, now we're okay. But if you just say, hey, that $350 pays every bill I need, and now I'm back, well, now what? Now we have nobody to go see. We have nobody to go help. We have no way to make more money. So
I love that. It's that that, what does the Bible say about seed time and harvest? And you got to sow your seeds. I mean, it's all throughout there. It also says build your business before you build your house. So put your money back into your business. And it's one of those things. All right, so I need a convention ticket. I need to buy more leads. So when I get that $488 commission check, it's hard to discipline yourself not to pay down something else. But understand, if you'll build the pipeline, one of Andy's favorite books is called The Parable of the Pipeline. I believe Burke Hedges wrote that. And it talks about you got to build the pipeline, that if you'll take that 488, put it into your business, the next week, because you have more business going in, because you reinvested in your business, because you have more issue paid coming out, because you have more seeds, resources, leads in your business, now the next week you're going to get a $784 check. And then you continue that process, and then you'll reach a point in 3, 4, 5 weeks where now you're making $1,500, $1,800, $2,000 consistently, and you have plenty of money to continue feeding your business and continue and take care of your lifestyle needs as well. And so it's just, I love the business thought process, and it's so important to teach our people that investing in their business is what counts. And obviously somebody like Linda, who has been there, done that in previous businesses, it was never a question having to help her with that mindset. So we got one more guest this morning, and then I have a special announcement at the end. So please don't let me hang up, Beth. Don't let me hang up before I do the special announcement. I've been known to get distracted by a squirrel or two. Dan Meerdo, also a prior business owner, not quite at the investment or levels that Linda Gobel was at. But Dan, if you would take a minute, talk about your prior business and the importance of having systems for your business, in terms of you can compare and contrast what you lacked at your business versus what the Alliance has in the events like Denver, have enabled you to succeed here. And if you had those events in your prior business, maybe you'd still be in that prior business. So if you would kind of talk about that. So at Myrtle Beach now, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Dan Meerdo.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Always appreciate being able to chat with the team and kind of give some input. And when I was 25 years old, and was working for the man, and my wife and I, we decided that we wanted to get in the business, get into any business. We weren't really sure what, and our experience was working at restaurants, bartending, serving, things like that. So that was, we thought, our strong point. And so started shopping around and decided to get into a pizzeria. And, found out very quickly that it does take, like Linda said, a lot of capital, a lot of money, a lot of investment. And, to the point where, I added some stuff up, and just with equipment and furniture and, POS systems and marketing and all the legal stuff you have to jump through for getting incorporated and getting a CPA and just all that stuff, the cost of the opportunity was right around $94,000. Before we even opened the door, that's what we had to put into it. And I know what most of you are thinking is, well, how does a 25-year-old come up with $94,000? And it was a great question. That was our biggest problem. But like Linda said, when you have a dream and when you get excited, you become very resourceful, right? And so it was, yes, obviously bank loans, but it was nickel and diming people for, hey, anything that could help us out, right? You're talking to parents, talking to friends, talking to investors, right? Which, hey, brother, do you want to be a part of an owner? But it was just, it wasn't above us because it's what we wanted, right? Or at least we thought we wanted. We wanted a shot. What we learned really quickly is the opportunity didn't mean squat if we didn't know what to do with it, right? We had this opportunity, and obviously there's very many successful restaurants. Obviously, it's not all risk tail. That's not the case. We did. Why? We didn't know what to do with it. We didn't know what we had. We didn't know how to treat it. We didn't know how to respect it. And so why I'm saying that is when we came here, and there's so many resources in place that tell us exactly how to treat the opportunity, what to do, how to do it. And not just in an overview of, hey, most of the time this works. It's, hey, do this exactly, and these are the results you're going to get. That's what fired us up, right? And I love telling the story about the first hotspot, the first meeting where I found the Alliance. It was so new to me that I wasn't even sure what we were doing. I knew it was insurance, but I didn't know what I was doing. And I remember just driving home and calling my wife and saying, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I want to do it. I want to be with these people. And obviously, that's big thanks to you, Adam, for just the way you treated me, the way you talked. I had never heard anyone talk that way as far as the way you talked about money and opportunity and business. And it was just a foreign concept to me. And I instantly, I knew it's what I had been searching for without knowing what I had been searching for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So obviously for you, when we said you need to buy some leads, you need to get to the next event. Again, as a prior business owner, thinking $399 for a convention ticket, that's hard to consider an investment at $94,000. But understanding most of the people that we work with don't come from a business owner mindset. Most of the people that we work with come from school teacher mindset of, what do you mean? I remember I hired this one guy and he got licensed and everything. And he was like, we got to the point of talking about buying leads and getting that first convention ticket and all that stuff. And he was like, seems to me I shouldn't have to pay to work for you. And it's just like, okay, we have miscommunicated this opportunity to this gentleman. Let's step back and talk more about how this business is your business. And so most of the people that are coming into it with that kind of job mentality of, I'm going to do the work, give me a paycheck on Friday. I thought the company sponsors me for my, continuing education, all of those kind of things. So how do you talk to your newer agents who kind of have that mindset? And more importantly, what are you doing with a brand new agent? So you just recruited me and you're like, hey, I need you to put April 21st on your calendar. We need to go ahead and lock you in at the $399 event ticket before the price goes up. Let's do it now. How are you talking to me? And more importantly, how are you helping me find the $399 so that I can do it? Okay, I'm all in on doing it with you, Dan. I don't have the money, and I have tapped out all my resources. What are you going to do? How are you going to help me get that immediate cash flow from this business?
Well, I think if we take a step back and think about, what I like to think about, and I guess I talk a little bit about this, is, we have these ancient brains where our brain is designed for survival, not for excellence. So everything that's our gut instinct, everything that's our comfort zone is to keep us alive. It's not for excellence. Right. And so why I say that is logic. Everything that we consider logic, not that it's designed to hurt us, but it's not designed to make us advance. Right. And it's almost like why it's designed to keep us alive. So it's like when we get on the phone for the first time, we literally feel like we're dying because our brain thinks that. Right. Our brain thinks, hey, if you make these dials, you're going to die. That's logic speaking. And so it's like, well, what is unlogical? It's faith. It's excitement. It's what is going to take you to get over that logic, right? And I don't know if anyone out there was like me, but I grew up thinking that all rich people were evil. That is just what I heard. If you're rich, they must have somehow cheated me to get rich, right? And that, I think that's just a way of people being logical about why they're not rich and somebody else is. And so, when we talk about investing in our business, when we talk about buying leads or buying convention tickets, we got to get people excited. You have to be excited because logically your brain's going to tell you not to do it, right? It's think about it. If someone says they don't have $400 to go to an event that's going to change their life and make them a millionaire, they're lying to you because logically they don't see the big picture. right? Really, you can't come up with 400. You have an insurance license, like Emily said. You could do that in 15 minutes. Let's not lie. Let's not get logical. Let's have faith, right? And so if you get excited about what we're doing, when I first started, no, I just told you I invested $94,000 in a business that failed. I was in debt up past my head. I owed people money. I owed banks money. I owed the IRS money, and they just take it, right? They don't give you the option to pay it. They just take it. And so, I had to get excited about what we were doing, about the products, and about how it helps people. And for me, I started calling my parents. I called my brother. I called my family. And even though they all had insurance, I was excited enough about what I was doing and what the products could do for them that they let me compare it with what they had. And guess what? Every single one of them, what we had was better. So it was the belief of what we have being the best in the industry. You transfer that belief to the people you're dealing with. You're helping them anyway. And you make, I think I made like $1,500 off of just helping my family with a product that they already had. They were just in the wrong spot.
That's awesome.
So that's what I would say. Yeah, just have belief that what we're doing is best for you and for the people we're serving. And again, if you could just be excited and be enthusiastic, that's what I'd say, right? If you can't afford leads, talk to people you know about what we're doing, right? It's $400. Let's call it $1,000 with hotel and flight to get to Denver, right? If I told you that's going to make you a millionaire in the next 5 years, how jacked up would you be? How easy would it be for you to make that $1,000 today? Not this week, today.
Well, something I've heard Andy always say is this: hey, if I told you I had 2 tickets to the Super Bowl and all you need to do is get there, how quick would you get plane tickets? We will find the resources to do what we want to do. We just got to decide this is what we want to do. And I love, talk to your family, talk to your friends. Now, do you actually, how do you coach people on that? Do you actually help them? I mean, do you sit with them and they make phone calls and you kind of coach them on how to talk to their family and friends? Do you give them kind of a script on talking to family and friends? Because obviously talking to family and friends is a little different than talking to leads. Are you walking them through the appointments? What are you doing to help them talk to their warm market? I don't think I did anything to help you talk to your warm market. I threw you out the deep end of the pool and said swim. but I know you can do more.
But what you did is you got me excited about what we were doing, right? And that's all I needed. Me personally, I didn't need to know the details of what a waiver of premium is. Quite frankly, I didn't care. I didn't need it, right? I was just excited about helping people, making money, and changing my life. And so that's how I go about it. Now, I know there's people out there that they need to know every detail, and that's not my strength. It just isn't. And so I try to get them excited, and I tell them why we're doing this and how it's going to help people, right? And just mention, hey, listen, I'm starting with this new company. I'm really excited about it. We've got the baddest products in the industry. What I'd like is let me just kind of compare it to what you have, just so I know that they're not BSing me. Let me just kind of see what you have compared to what we have. And, obviously, if you've got the best, then, good for you, kudos. But they're telling me, hey, we got some good products that might be able to help you out. So, do you have 5 minutes that I could just sit down and listen, if your mom doesn't let you, like you said, if your mom doesn't let you look at her policy, I don't know what you did to her in the past. But yeah, it's as simple as that. I mean, really, just being excited. If you're excited when you talk to people, they're going to be excited.
Yeah, we've always said this. We say it a couple ways. If the dream's big enough, the facts don't count. Is one thing I've always heard Andy Albright say, and the other is this: if the want to, that's a coin that we carry with us. If the want to is big enough, what do I want? The how to get it, you'll figure it out. The how becomes evident. So awesome stuff. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. So big announcement, guys. Drum roll, please. Actually, before I make the drum roll, though, here's what I'd like. Beth, what I'm about to announce is this: the host hotel, where we're going to be. And so, Beth, if you would talk about the importance that we always placed on staying where the leaders were staying. even if it was a more expensive hotel, even if it was something that was a stretch for us, we didn't try and find the cheapest hotel we could find. We always tried to stay at the host hotel. Talk a minute about the thought process of why we were doing that and the importance of what we got out of it because we did.
Absolutely. So every time an event is announced, there's a host hotel. That hotel is probably in the primest location. It's closest to where the meeting is going to be held, which makes it easier during the event, that you don't have to get that far to get to the meeting on time, to get to the meeting early, to stay late. You're right there in the vicinity. The other thing, and I think this is probably our key reason, was that we would be around the team. We'd be around the leaders. We would have that chance encounter with the person that we were looking up to in the lobby. We'd have our questions ready and we'd be able to ask those questions and get the answers we need. We would get that additional association time. Adam was very good at picking up Jane's bag, so she didn't have that burden walking through a crowd. He would carry her bag and we would follow Andy and Jane, and that following got us extra time. It might be extra time on walking to the elevator. It might be extra time on the elevator. We had to walk them up to their room because Adam was carrying the bag. It got us extra time. Sometimes they'd say night night at the elevator. Sometimes we'd follow them to the door. Sometimes they'd invite us in. Sometimes they'd say night night. It doesn't matter, but it bought us extra time because we were there and we weren't trying to worry about, oh gosh, can I get out in this line of traffic to get back to XYZ place? And to us, it was worth the price, the value we got out of that time and that convenience. Just absolutely the price wasn't a factor at that point, because we will not get where we want to go in life if we don't associate with people who are already in those positions in life. And being at the host hotel gave us another leg up on spending that time with them. Awesome. Yeah, and that was the key. We always prioritize that. So hey, Adam,
without further ado, what?
I will add one thing, because you are getting ready to make a huge announcement, and act fast, because spaces will fill up, and I used to take off time from work to book these things. So act now.
Yeah, I used to cover Jane's class. So we back in our old business, they would announce when they were going to announce the hotel, and you talk about building it up, and so Jane and I would strategize where I could come cover her class during my planning period so that she could get on the phone and book rooms. And so, I mean, that's how much urgency and importance we put on it. And look, a block of rooms is a block of rooms. We're going to have 1,500 people at the event. They're not going to have that many hotel rooms at the one hotel for us. So I would jump on this quickly.
I'm ready.
That's got her credit card and her phone ready. The host hotel is going to be the Sonesta Hotel in Denver, Colorado. Sonesta is Sonesta, the Sonesta Hotel. And you can actually follow the link if you go to theallianceevents.com and go to View from the Edge and scroll down. There'll be a link for hotel information and the hotel booking. But guys, go ahead. We're gonna wrap up a minute early, so you can go ahead and make those phone calls and get that hotel room booked for you, and make sure that you're telling your team where it's going to be, and encourage them to go ahead and block their room as well. All right, guys. Thank you, Alliance Nation. Thank you, Andy and Jane Albright. Thank you, Tia Ray and all the marketing department at Alliance for the opportunity to talk with you guys. We did the best we could. Look forward to talking to you guys again in the future. And we will definitely see everybody in Denver, if not before. Love you guys. Take care.
Recording stopped.